Welcome back to the Milky Way. So this is going to be my 10th live stream. Yesterday we had a couple of live streams, but both of them actually it went down like three times. I had three live streams, but we were having some internet issues yesterday. The stream was going down for some reason. Uh, yeah. So if you were watching yesterday, I apologize. Or if you see in the in YouTube that there's multiple parts for yesterday, that's because there were actually three parts originally, but the second part only lasted about 5 minutes before my internet went down again. So I was having some internet troubles yesterday. Hopefully tonight we won't have those same issues, but I guess we'll see. You never know with the with Spectrum, I guess. Yesterday we started working on another project, so we're pivoting just a little bit. We are building. Let me actually get the timer going. Okay, so we're at 23 hours, 53 minutes, and 29 seconds. I had to back up the clock just a little bit because every time my stream ended yesterday, it wasn't because I actually ended it. It's because my internet dropped, and then YouTube kind of shut down the stream. So I have to start my timer, and I think it should be going. There it goes. Okay, so we have our timer going, and we're going to continue. We were trying to get to 24 hours last night, and we fell about 7 minutes shy because the internet went down again. So we're going to continue from here on out. Yesterday, I started on a new project, as I was just mentioning. Not because I really intended to, but because I switched over to my new iMac. So I just got a new computer yesterday. So I wanted to kind of like test it out. I wanted to start building with it. So there was a bunch of stuff I had to install. I still haven't installed everything that's on my MacBook Pro. So we still have some work to do to get everything up and running on this computer. And I just brought over the timer and the text file that was keeping track of how much time we've been streaming for. Let's see, what else? So I didn't bring over the projects that we've been working on for like the past 10 or 15 hours or so. The project was a master detail kind of project with a few pages, but I'm going to go back to that once I complete this project. So we're pivoting over to this new project that is going to kind of relate to the other project, or at least I'll be able to bring some of the things that I learned in this project over to that one. Now, if you did see last night's stream, or scroll through it, then I did end by saying that I was going to watch a tutorial and then start this session out by going over that tutorial, going over the things that I learned in that tutorial, but I didn't get a chance to do so today. So work was pretty busy throughout the day. And then after work, I had a session with one of my former students and a few other, well, only one other student came, college students, and they were trying to figure out how to improve their resumes, their LinkedIn profiles, and really start figuring out how to prepare themselves best for life after college. So we were working on that for a couple of hours, and then I took a little break. So now that I've taken my break, I am ready to start streaming. And here we go. So this is what I made yesterday. I started a brand new Angular project. And this is going to be a submission form that maybe in the future will allow me to like click the submit form, create a PDF, and then email me that PDF, or throw the PDF in a database that I could access, or maybe just capture the data in a database and put it in a dashboard for like an admin to be able to see. Basically, I'm trying to solve the problem where at my job we have people fill out a PDF that has like hundreds of different fields. Not all of which are required. So I just really want to ask what is required and create the PDF for them, ideally. So they would put their names, their emails, they would choose the school that they work at, they would choose the program that they're enrolled in, and this would kind of change dynamically. Like some of these fields would change based on what the answers above are. So I should make some of these eventually I'll have to get some of these to be disabled until they answer the previous or until they fill out the previous field in the form. So, for example, let's see. I mean, if we were to disable the training date, the title, the date, until the program is selected, that would be ideal. The school really doesn't have any effect on like anything else, but the program definitely will, because not every single training is going to be available to people in different programs. So I'm going to have to fix this or change this dynamically based on, once they choose a program name. I also wanted to I have to figure out a way to capture a signature, because in the original PDF, I have to be able to sign. They have to be able to sign their names. So something to allow me to do that on this page is going to be important. So if I can capture that image, the picture of them signing, when they hit the submit form button, that will, that should hopefully fill out a PDF. And I have no idea how to do this stuff. So for today, I think we're just going to try to make sure that this form is able to send a request to a backend. We got close last night. I think we ended with, let me see. Oh no, I think I took out the functionality. So, or maybe not. Wait, is my thing running? Let me make sure my my project is running. The form app. No, the form app is good. Okay, so everything's going well. The problem is, for some reason, actually, let me just refresh this, just in case it wasn't the right one. So like Tim Small, and that came out in all caps. When Tim Small hits submit, let me go over to inspect element so I could see the console. I added some code so that when they hit submit, we display his name right here at the bottom of the page. So there it says, Tim Small is awesome. So I was doing that just to test out, make sure that I could capture the full name of the person. Okay, and I just added is awesome so I could see that was actually working. So, I mean, that was just one piece of functionality. Obviously, this isn't how it's going to work. What it'll do is when the person submits, it'll package everything up in like JSON, let's say, and then submits it. So what I am going to do today, which will be kind of a little bit boring, I guess, if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this after the fact, you might want to skip through this video and maybe go to the end to see what I end up coming up with, as I always suggest in my videos. I'm going to be going through a tutorial on my phone, the one that I said I was going to try to do before today's session, but I didn't get a chance to. So I'm going to be doing it on my phone. I'll be able to hear it with my AirPods, although you won't be able to hear it, but I'm going to explain what I learned from the tutorial, and I'm going to implement that myself on screen. So everything you see over here on the screen, I will be explaining like what I'm learning from here that I could apply to there. So I know I'm going to have to do quite a bit of work with this HTML, this component. So I'm going to have to play around with this and fix some of these things. Because as of yesterday, I was really just like playing around, trying to get things working and maybe not knowing what I was doing really. I also didn't really spend time looking through this documentation. At the end of yesterday, I mentioned that I really don't enjoy reading documentation or trying to understand what to do by reading documentation, even though it's really important. Documentation is huge. You have to develop that skill, or develop the skill of Googling answers to your questions. But I struggle a little bit with just like reading like formal documentation and trying to understand like when things should be used, like, what's helpful and all that stuff. I do much better with a video of someone explaining, which is pretty much what all the videos on my channel are about, or how they are. It's me explaining something and how to do things. So let me begin. So if I'm quiet or I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone. I'm watching a tutorial video that I'm doing, and then I'll start talking in a few seconds, I guess. So Eon Star, the bet was that I would have to stream 60 hours on YouTube. Actually, it was either YouTube or Twitch, but I started on YouTube and I never switched over to Twitch. So my friend said that I had to stream 60 hours and he had to do 10 workouts. And at the start of this, before the month started, the way that he described the workouts was that they would be very difficult to do, that they would take about 90 minutes each. So I think he was at 7 or 8 workouts as of right now. So I'm pretty sure he's going to make it, unless he gets like injured tomorrow and then he can't like work out or something. But I'm sure he'll still find a way to work out. So I think I didn't get the good end of the deal here, but it's my fault. I should have negotiated for, I don't know, 40 hours or something. 60 hours is quite a lot. But we'll see if we get there. We have about 10 days left in the month to get as many hours as possible, and we're not even halfway done yet. So, or we're not halfway there yet, and we're about 20. What's today's date? I don't even know. Today is the 21st. So we have about 10 days left exactly. All right, so I just lost my place. Okay, I found it. Let's see. All right, so I'm not going to be texting. I'm watching a video here, even though it looks like I'm just texting or not paying attention, but I am. All right, so right now he's going over what Angular or how Angular will help us submit a form, or will help us like grab a form from the user or grab data from the user and then do stuff with it. Also, for anyone that might be watching right now, the tutorial I'm going through is this one on Udemy, Maximilian Schwartzmuller. So I'm doing which one is it? This one right here. So this is the form I'm going through for $12. I think it's a steal. It's really good. It's a really good course. All right, he's doing a lot of talking and not a lot of coding yet. App module. So I already imported the forms module, which is the first thing I had to do. All right, so it looks like I got a little bit ahead of myself when I did the two-way binding here. And I think this is the way that it's got to be done eventually, but for now, to start, he's just doing an NG model. So I have a feeling that, and the problem is that I copy paste. Well, I didn't copy paste, but I saw another example project in a Stack Blitz on the Stack Blitz website, and I was trying to get this thing to work just by like bringing things in, I guess, randomly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove all of these Angular things that I have on this form. Maybe I'll leave ng submit because I think that's not going to be any different. But I'm going to remove the models and these template variables. That's what these things are called with the hashtag in front. I'm just going to do it all from the very beginning along with Max. Okay, everything else I think I didn't touch. Let's remove this ng model here. And he's just going and putting an ng model. So I think this would be a one-way binding situation. Although he didn't set it to anything. So let's see what he does. So this tells Angular that this is going to be an input that we want to capture in Angular. Oh. All right, so now with JavaScript, we're able to capture this because it has the name attribute, which I called full name. So now it's registered, apparently. Same idea with the email. So let me do that for the email inside of the input. We're going to have a, let me put name afterwards. So we're going to go ng model and then have the name right after. Same thing down here in the email. So we're going to do ng model and we're going to name that email. All right, I'm going to just do these two for now and see, because I think he's going to show me a better way or a more efficient way right after. So I don't really want to go through every single input here, only to have to change them all again eventually. So we'll just do the name and the email. If we get that working right, then we'll see how we should modify this. Because yesterday I was using two-way binding, and that seems like it was the way to do it with template-driven forms. We'll see. So now he's going to make the form submittable, which I think I did here. I just realized that I was muted. Thank you, Robert. How's it going, by the way? Long time no speak. So maybe we could display this form just like this. And actually, I might have to import something here. Cannot find ng form. So I think I'm missing an import. I have to figure out which import I have to bring in here. Most likely I'm forgetting to import the form somewhere. You should import ng form from Angular Forms. Yep, so I got to bring this into my project over here where I'm using that type. Thank you for that. Yeah, I muted it to blow my nose for a second, and then I forgot to unmute it. Okay, so now I should be able to submit the form, and it should capture the name. So the name, I'll just put whatever, and the email is a@b.com. And so when I hit submit form, we see the form that was submitted down over here. So how could I see its properties? Oh, here we go. Full name and email. So there's the name that I used and the email that I used. So when I hit submit, that's what it's sending. Just a couple more weeks. What is it? 2-3 more weeks till school starts? Maybe. I guess we'll see, right? Times are crazy right now. A lot of uncertainty. Okay. How would I actually see the ng form object? Oh, here's the value. Form dot. Maybe we could do, instead of just the entire form, we could do form dot value dot. Let's just do form.value and see what comes up. So let me submit again, asdf@asdf.com. Hit submit, and there we go. There is the object that we are submitting. So that's how we can capture what we're going to send to the database, the server, eventually. Okay, let's see what's next. All right. We'd want to clear this after we submit also. I'll figure that out in a little bit. I don't really care about that. Let's see. Using the form state. Setting default values. Let's see if we could do that. Okay, so wait a second. So this How am I actually just... Okay, so here we go. I think he's going to show a different way of doing this. Let's see if we can figure it out. Select. I think what I have to do is I have to separate the trainings based on the programs, because otherwise this is not going to know which to display. So I guess I have to have a different array of trainings for each program. Let's change that. Also by date. All right, so let me think of how I'm gonna process that. So depending on the program that someone's in, there's going to be different dates for that program. That's going to be a little annoying. I mean, maybe what I could do is I could combine programs and dates and have the first item be the program and then every single other item is the dates. But I don't really like that because then I have to like ignore the first item. I like keeping it separate like this. Programs. I guess another thing I could do is I could have like an array of arrays inside of it. So it would be an array of like. So every date would have. All right, let me see what that looks like and see if I like that better. So it would look something like. All right, let me move this mouse over. Here we go. So it would be programs and dates. And that would equal, oops. So this is going to be, I'm going to use an array of arrays. So it'll look something like this. And in each array, it's going to be the program. So let's say units, along with the date that goes with that program. So maybe units has 8.1 and I don't know, let's say 8.3. And let's put the year there just to be consistent here. But that's going to be really messy. No, I don't want to do it like this. This is not, well, maybe it would be specifically unit programs. Or unit training dates. Maybe we'll go with that. Unit training dates. So I don't need this. I don't need to make it an array of. What would be the best way to format this or structure this? So when someone chooses a specific program. I mean, maybe. So let's do AP CSP training dates. And let's set that equal to different dates. 8/2/20 and then 8/4/20. And then AP CSA training dates. And set that equal to, let's just put that in September just to make it obvious. So we'll do September 1st and the 2nd. Okay. So now depending on the program that's chosen, it's only going to show the specific dates. So like, if units is chosen, if units is true, then it'll only show these dates. I guess maybe that's how we could split it up. that might be the best way to do it instead of just putting the dates there. For now, I'll leave dates because that's what's filling in my my drop-down menu. But eventually, I'm just gonna set that dynamically based on what the program name that's the program that's chosen is. And the same idea with the training titles and times. Let me move this over a little bit so it's easier to see. So the training title and the time, that is going to be based on the program and the training date. All right, so that's a little tricky too because I could have some dates that are the same in different programs. So I'm gonna have to. Is that the best way to do it? I guess maybe it'll be something like this. Training titles and times. So it'll be like units. I'll do units. Units, training, titles. Or title and times. I know it's a really long variable name. But we'll go with, I guess for the units, it'll be, we'll just do K through 2, learning to code, let's just say. Actually, I need to put it in an array because I'm going to have multiple things for each. Let me hit save, and then it'll automatically format it the way that it should be. APCSP, training, title, and times, or titles, because it's going to be it could be multiple. Oh, whoops, I forgot the times. Actually, this should be an array of arrays because I want to have the training and the, actually no. Let me think. Because there could be two trainings of the same name at different times. So then I'd have to like store that differently. I guess then it makes sense to do an array of arrays because I want to keep them together. So depending on, so here's what I'll do. I'll do something like this. So this was at, from 2 to 3 p.m. And then the next one, let's give it the same name. And we'll do like, from 3 to 4 or something like that. So that way I don't lose track. Now let's, okay, that failed to compile because I messed something up here. So this is an array of arrays. Okay, and this one will be very similar. So we're gonna have an array of arrays here as well. Except the name will be different and the times might be the same or might be different. APCSP would be, I don't know, let's do a BJC from 12 to 3. Let's just do code.org from 2 to 3. We'll leave those two in there as examples, as samples. And the APCSA, so it'll be very similar to this. APCSA. And I guess I just got to do an array of arrays, just like the others. And we'll do, I guess with CSA, it's always Java. I think most people, I'm pretty sure it's just Java. It's done in Java. So, we'll do from 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And also from Java, or maybe session 1. It might be like, Java session 1, Java session 2, let's say, and give it a time of maybe at the same time. Okay. So the way that I'll do this, I'm going to eventually remove programs and dates. Actually, I don't have to remove programs. I have to remove the dates one, because that will be kept, I'll keep track of that with this, right? okay, so someone chooses units, let's say. This will detect it. This will detect that it's units, and it will go specifically to the unit training dates and show just those, not the others. Then when they choose the date, actually does that make sense? When they choose the date, it'll show. Oh, you know what? I need to store the date also here, because I only want to show the trainings for that specific day as well. So this array also needs the date. It's a little dirty. I don't like it like that, but I guess we're gonna have to do that. All right, so it's going to have the date, the title, and the time. Geez, is that the best way to do it, or should I just capture everything in one array? So we have the dates, the titles, and the times. I guess for now we'll separate it, and then we might just get rid of the other one. So this is on 8/3/20. And so we'll use similar dates. So APCSP is on 8/2 and 8/4. So we'll do one of each. 8/2/20, and then 8/4/20. That's the annoying thing about JavaScript here, that it's hard to know what these things are when you don't define them. And APCSP, it's the same idea. We'll just have both of these on 9/1/20, and the second one will be on the same day, same time, maybe somewhere else, 9/1/20. And maybe like in the future, I would have to add like locations, so I'd have to store the location here too, so that the person can like get an email saying like where they have to go, the address of the place. Okay, so the way that it'll work is someone will choose the program name, and depending on the name that they choose, so like when what they choose is units, it will specifically just show, or it'll update the training dates to just show the units training dates. And then when they choose a date, then maybe when they choose a date, then maybe I'll go through the array and only show those that match, those where the first item matches that date. I guess that's the way to do this, or that's the way that we're going to try to get it to work eventually, or pretty soon. And we might be able to remove the trainings like this. So the training titles, I can concatenate the title, so the second item in this array, and I'll concatenate it with the time as well. So that will go here in training title and time, and that'll be easy to do in using Angular. All right, so I guess we don't need this anymore. We don't need all these trainings here. I'm going to leave it for now, actually, because it is getting filled in from here. But I will change this dynamically, I guess. Actually, maybe I will... maybe I should keep a property and do the current unit, or sorry, the current program, and set it equal to empty in the beginning. And so that when they select it, that's when I'm going to change the current program to their selection. So if it's the 0th selection, it's going to be units, and I'll change current program to that. And so when the current program is units, it's going to just show these and care about these: units, trainings, titles, and times. Dates, titles, and times. Let's do, all right, dates, titles, and just times. We'll just do it like that. Dates, titles, times. little verbose, but it'll be easy to understand. So I'm going to leave this for now, but it's going to get deleted. I'm going to delete this model. Uh-oh. Wait, that's going to mess up that could potentially mess up the way I'm creating a teacher here. We have a name, email, file number, program name, training date, and the training title and the time. Training, date, title, time. All right, I'm probably gonna have to change this in a little bit. Yeah, because I can't use this model like this. I can't do that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what we have to do. Using ng model with two-way binding. All right, grouping form controls. Let's see if that's what we need. All right, I don't think he's going to do exactly what I need. So let me see if I can Google that. So let's Google Angular change dropdown selected value. So maybe that might be what I'm looking for. Select option set dynamically. Maybe it's this one. Let's open up how to set value selected in a box dynamically. In reactive form, we could use set value and patch value. And in a template-driven form, we could use ng model to set value and select box dynamically. So not using the reactive form, let's use the template-driven form. So how does he do that? How do they do that? Or maybe I'm not sure if that's it actually. Let's look at some other things. me see a demo and see if that's what I want. Click on a user to select. So when I click on a user, what happens? Oh, this is not what I want. Okay, not the example I'm looking for. How to set selected options dynamically. How do I get the value of the selected drop-down menu item? So that could help. And how to set the selected option dynamically. Let's see. This guy's using a form group here. Countries. Oh, maybe. Oh, you know what? Instead of an array, maybe it's an array of objects. That might be better than an array of arrays. Oh, yeah. So, that makes much more sense. That way I can label it so I know what I'm looking at. Oh my goodness, I'm so silly sometimes. Okay, so instead of doing an array of arrays, we'll do an array of objects and make these key value pairs. Oh, how did I not think of that? All right, just seeing that other projects gave me the idea. So this would be the date property. This would be the title property, and this would be the time of this this item in the array, of this object. So I'm going to hit save, and then the same idea here. We're going to put all of this in an object. Oops. Actually, yeah, that would work. Let's put that in an object. This is the date, the title, and the time. Okay, there we go. So that's what it's going to look like. That's a much better structure. Same idea here. So that's going to be the date, the title, the time. Again, let me create the structure here once. So date, title, and time, and I'm going to delete everything else. Let's copy this a few times. So this one belongs in there twice. Over here, we're going to have it twice also. And that's it. All right, so it's not too bad. Yeah, let's put them in here. So this is the date. This is the title. And this is the time. When I hit save, it'll automatically format it nicely for me. This is the date. This is the title. Geez, why didn't I don't know why I didn't think of using an object, because then I could do key value pairs and make it easily readable. Let's delete that. Okay, I think we're good there. Same idea here. So we're going to have this date, and this one has the same date on both of these. Same date. Title is going to be different. Java session 1, and this one's Java session 2, and the times are going to be the same. We're going to leave the times as the same thing. Let me delete this now. So we have an array of objects, and now it's much more readable and easily understandable, I guess. Let's see, what would be... Can I get this working now, I guess, is the question. So let's... I might be able to. So let me delete this model thing. Form.value. So we will... That's weird because every time I choose something, something else will have to change. So how is that going to work? How is that going to work dynamically? Or how do I do that dynamically? No, that's not what I want. How to determine which drop-down menu the user selected in your Angular templates. Okay, so this will help me identify what they selected. Let's see. Technically, a drop-down element is actually a select element. And each menu in the drop-down is an option, yes. In Angular, you have to do the work. The reason that we care about the event object is that the select element contains one or more children. We're going to attach the handler to the change event of the selected. But hold on, even though a change... You know what, let's so I'm going to have to create a method that will... Oh my gosh, but how is that going to run? How's that going to... When is that going to fire? I'm thinking that I create something like a method that I can call like update training dates times titles times. And so what this will receive the this will receive the program. So this will receive the program, which is a string. So program, which is of type string. And what I'll do, but I'm going to have to figure out how to get this method to run every single time someone changes the option. But what I would do is I would check to see what program is. So maybe I would use a switch. And then I would check to see the program, and if it's the case that they put in units, then maybe I would set the current program, set that equal to. How will that help us though? Why would that? How would that help us? So what I would want to do is right here in this code, I could set current program equal to units, but that doesn't really do much. Huh. Yeah, I mean, maybe that really won't do much. It's not going to help us. Okay, let me think. Maybe I can emit an event. So when this gets fired, I can emit an event that the drop-down menus are listening to, and they'll change programmatically or according to the event and whatever they receive. Let me see if any of these, I find something that's like close to what I want. Let me move this over a little bit. Selected day. So here, like something like this. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. So when you select, or when we change, I guess is the event. When you select a day, that fires off this change event, and we could pass, I guess, the values using this event argument. And you selected day. And what does the select change handler look like? Is that over here? Oh, here it is. So it receives an event, and it changes this dot selected day to the value of that event. All right, so maybe, I mean, that could work, possibly work. Or that'll be a good start at least. Let me just read through this a little bit carefully. Actually, let me watch it. Why not?
In this video, I'll explain how to get the value of the selected dropdown with Angular. When looking at Angular, you may find that times you need to activate on the selection that user makes your dropdown box. Now, technically, a dropdown box is what's called a select element. And here on this page, I've got a select element, otherwise known as dropdown box, with 5 things to work with. So when I select one of the days, the result of that selection is shown in the page. if I choose Monday, I say Monday. If I choose Tuesday, I say Tuesday, and so forth. So the main thing to keep in mind here is that whatever the user selects, we're acting upon.
All right, so I could do something like that, and I could, you know, I could add like you selected whatever, just so I could see that it's captured.
Something more sophisticated. Let's take a look at the code and see how this all works. So here we have a markup for the exact page that we just looked at, and select element is the drop-down box that you see. Now,
All right, so let's put that on one of these selects. So let's put that on the program select element. Let me save that. Forget teacher. Oh, it's going to be broken because I put a switch statement that's not ready. Let's just do units. There we go. I mean, this doesn't really do anything, but we'll leave it like that for now. In our HTML, we are going to find that select for the program. So that is right over here. And what do we have to do? Where is that video I was just watching? Oh, there it is. Okay, so select has the change event. Select change handler. So I'm guessing change is a, I guess an HTML event here. And we'll fire off the select event. How about select program handler? So because that's what is being selected, and we're going to pass the event to that. So I'm going to create this method in my component. I mean, here I named it update training dates and times, but let's start with select program handler, and that is going to be receiving an event of type event, maybe. Let's see what it says.
Makes a selection, they are choosing one of these option elements, and each time they choose an option element, the change event fire.
The options have values, right? The options. Oh, I should set the value equal to the program also. Actually, maybe we could just get the title of it without having to use value. All right, so how does he do that? Event, oh, he does of type any. I did of type event. Let's just use any for now and make sure that it works. And then I just want to, let me remove this semicolon. I just want to log out what the chosen event is. Event dot it's not giving me anything. Oh, because it's of type any, so it doesn't know what to expect. So event.target.value, we'll try that. Target, oh, but they don't have values. Well, let's try event. Let's try event and see what happens. So I'm going to save. When I select when I change the, all right, when I change the program name, it should fire off that event. So let's see what happens. And here's my console here on the right. So when I change the program, the chosen event is object event. That does not help us. The chosen event is, all right, so let's see if we could, all right, let's display the target, event.target, and see if that helps us a little bit more. All right, so this refreshed. When I choose a different event, no, chosen event is object HTML select element. So maybe that's the type. Instead of type any, HTML select element. So let's do event dot value. Maybe that will help us. So I selected it. It should refresh. Or sorry, I saved it. Now when I change it, the chosen event is undefined. The chosen event is undefined. Why is it not able to identify oh, because there is no value. I have to set the value. Or what other attributes are there? Event dot title, maybe that's what it is, and not value. So when I choose APCSA, the chosen event is undefined. No. Event dot, what could it be called? text content, or maybe it's like inner HTML or something like that. No, let's try text content. If that doesn't work, then we will actually we'll try one more thing if that doesn't work, but then we'll just yeah, undefined. Let me just do event, and then let me try to like dig around and see if I could find the value. So there, event. Now when I choose a different event, does it let me open it? No. If I do type any, I think it's going to be the same idea. Yeah, object event. All right, well, that's unfortunate. Event.target.value. We'll do that, and then here in the, we'll set its value equal to so I think here I would have to do like a single, let's just do hello and see if we're able to capture that value. So it should set the value for every single one of these to hello. So if I change this to CSA, no, it still says undefined. Okay, that's not cool. Maybe that's not how I do it. Property binding it like this. What if I just do value equals instead of property binding it? Value equals hello. So now when I click on anything else, chosen event is hello. Perfect. So no matter which one I choose, it says hello. So instead of hello, let us display the program, or let's send the program as the value and see if that works. All right, so I saved it. The chosen event is program. Do you have to, how do you do that then? Do I set it like that? String interpolation? Is that how it works? Is that what it's called? Yes, there we go. So now I can capture the, you see that? That's beautiful. So now every single option has the correct value. And I'm just setting the value equal to program, the program name. So then I capture that here in the component. The chosen event is this. Here's the, so we'll do the, what am I going to call this? The program selected, or the selected program, and set that equal to event.target.value. And then we could just do a selected program. I mean, I could do something like that. Why is that not working? Why doesn't it let me set? Oh, maybe I could do make it a let. There we go. Okay, and then, I mean, it still should work the same way. So the chosen event is APCSA. All right, so when that happens, when this gets triggered, I want to change the other things. So I want to, when this gets fired off, when the program is selected, I want to change the training date. I want to change the training date and the training title and time. Right? Is that how it's going to work? So I think I'm going to have to two-way bind it in here somewhere, somehow. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Actually, I mean, I guess I could separate it here. So I have it separate. I mean, this one should work. So I'm going to say that this, yeah, the program is going to be a string. So this is a string, essentially. So what I'll do here is I will run update training titles dates, pass to it the selected program. And that's it. So that should fire this method, and this one, when it receives the specific program, it's going to update. All right, so here's where I think we should bind, two-way bind to the other drop-down menus so that it'll only show the correct one. mean, I'm not 100% sure if that's right. Let me just comment out this console.log because we don't need that anymore. So let's see, how could I do that? So update trading dates, titles, times. So the model, let me look back at the HTML. So what this does, okay, so let date of dates, and dates right now is up here, right? Yes, these dates, but what I should set it equal to is I should set dates equal to this. That's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm gonna have a date property, and I'm gonna set, when that gets fired, I'm gonna set this dot dates equal to actually, hold on. You know what I'll do? Here's where I'll use my switch, or I could use an if. I could use a conditional. Let's do a conditional. So if program equals units, then I'm going to set dates, this dot dates equal to AP, oh, sorry, this one. And I think I have to do this because it's this instance of it. All right. Else if the program is equal to AP CSP, is that what it's called? AP, let me just make sure there's no spaces in between there. APCSP. Then I'm going to set this dot dates equal to this dot APCSP training dates and titles. Training dates, titles, times. Else, I mean, if it's not the units, if it's not the APCSP, we'll just use an else if. Program equals APCSA. Whoa. Okay, APCSA. Then we are going to set this dot dates equal to this dot APCSA training dates, titles, and times. Okay. Else nothing is selected. So if nothing is selected, I mean, I don't know. I don't even think that's going to be, we'll see. There might be a bug there where someone could not select anything when they click on it. We will see. Let me actually display console.log yo. So if this does get fired, I want to console.log and see that it's able to send the program over. So we should be able to capture the selected program from this method, and we're going to display it right after yo. And then it's going to set dates equal to whatever. So now that it's refreshed, I'm going to select APCSA, and we see yo APCSA. Or just yo, I should say, just 3 yo's. And you could see the training dates now. Oh, okay, here we go. It's only showing, I mean, it's not showing correctly. So I'll have to figure out why that is. But I think it did modify. It did change. If I go back to units, this shows 2. If I go back to CSP, there's 2. Let me actually add another. So each of these has 2 right now. Let me add another one to CSA and see if we're able to detect, or if we're able to see object 3 times. So let's just do the same thing. Session 3, maybe this one starts at noon, 12 p.m., all the way up to 3 p.m., let's say. These are 3-hour sessions, let's say. Okay, so if it's units, right now, I mean, because this was just set as the default, I should make this like empty and make this disabled. I mean, right now it kind of is disabled. I can't choose anything because it doesn't know what to display because dates is empty. Dates over here is just set to nothing. But when I choose something, so when I choose APCSP, then we see 2 objects in here. And so this should be the, these should be the dates, or the training dates. But it's showing object because it's an object. Sorry, it's an array of objects. So I have to show the first item in the array. Actually, maybe I could fix that right now and get it working. Okay, so let's go back to the training date that's over here. So instead of so let date of dates, we want to show the, if we look at dates, we are looking at the dot date, property of this of the new dates. So we don't have to do the first item. We're going to do the date dot dates. I'm going to, maybe I'll change the name in just a second, but let's see if this works. So if I choose the APCSP, oh, it's not working. APCSA, let date of dates. So date dot, why is that not working? Date. Oh, because it is, we have to look at the first item. Actually, no, we have to look at each item. So I have to be able to, okay, so this is it's an array of objects. So not dot dates, that's not going to work. So it's an array. So we're going to have to be able to look at each item. So let's say I, and then the dates property of that. So we are going to do something like this. So we're going to do let date of dates, and then we're going to capture the index. I think we could do let I equal index. And now we should be able to, I think this should work. Not 100% sure, but let's see. So if I change it, no, it did not work. Error, undefined is not an object. Okay, so let me Google, because I always forget how to do this. So let me Google ng4 index. How do we do that? Let I equal index. Did I not do that? Let I equal index. Let item of items. Let date of dates. Let I equals index. Let I equals index. Maybe the issue here is that, let me look back at our code here. So this is an array of objects. Okay, so when it looks at the first item, the first date, how do I access its date? I should just be able to do date. Oh, maybe it's not dates, it's date.date. And without the index, we don't need the index. All right, let's see if that works. So we go back to our form. When I choose a new program, there it is. Oh my goodness, there we go. So now it's only showing the training dates for that specific program, and that's exactly what I wanted. All right, so APCSP shows 8284. If I choose APCSA, it shows 919191. Okay, so that's 3 of them. Okay, well that's not cool. Actually, that probably wouldn't be good. Maybe I'll just combine the date with the title and the time. So because yeah, I don't need the training date. Let's remove that. Geez, after all that. So what I'll do is I'm gonna fold the dates into the training dates and times. Oh geez, why did I even split that up in the beginning? That's kind of silly. It seems kind of silly. But that is going to help make our lives a little bit easier. So now I don't have to have dates all separate like this. Dates are not going to be separate. They are going to be, how am I going to display that? Training, title, and time. So I'm going to do something like, so each training, so I'm going to be able to concatenate something like this. So it's going to be the training dot the date. I'll put a hyphen, and then training dot, what's the property name? Training title. Okay, so let's do title. And then do another hyphen and do training dot time. Was it time? Let me hit save. Yes, time. So now, okay, in the beginning there's nothing there, But when I select a thing, uh-oh. Why is that not working? Training of trainings. So training.date. All right, let's see if we can just get the date showing here before I start trying to show everything. Okay, so I hit save. NG4, let training of trainings. Oh, wait, no, that should be right. I could delete. Oh, you know what it is? It's setting it equal to trainings. So instead of dates, it's really trainings that I have to set here. And then all this, it's going to be this dot trainings, or let's just do training. And change the property up here. Training. Let me spell that right. Hit save. And, oh, so yeah, it doesn't know what trainings is. Actually, no, it should be trainings because there are multiple objects in each array. So this dot trainings equals that. All right, so let's see. Now, moment of truth, we should be able to see the training date when I select a program name. And we do. Perfect. So now I can have the training date, the title, training.title, and then the training.time. And this should concatenate all together. And now when I choose the thing, there we go. Look at that. That's beautiful. Actually, instead of a hyphen, we'll use an at symbol here. So when I choose the program, so it'll be 8/2, so August 2nd, BJC at whatever time. And these are the APCSP ones available. So if I choose units, it's going to show these two. So 8.1, 8.3, K through 2 learning to code. Do I want to format that a little differently? Nah, forget it. It works. We'll go with that. Okay, so now how do I set, how do I disable this? Maybe I'll disable it until, so if there's no value here, okay, so let me refresh and see what it looks like. So right now it's kind of disabled, but it doesn't look disabled. Let me think. I mean, it's essentially disabled because there's, it doesn't know what it should display. So even when I'm clicking on it right now, it's not doing anything. And I also don't want to start with programs. I want the drop down to say something like choose a program, or select a program. So let's have can we have a placeholder in a drop down menu item? So let's do let me Google. Maybe that's an HTML thing. HTML select placeholder text. How do I make a placeholder for a select box? Yes. Disabled selected. Does that work? But Firefox doesn't show that correctly. Disabled selected. Disabled selected hidden. All right, so let's try this. Oh, well, that's going to be an option, and we're using NG4 for it. Uh-oh. Let me go back to, so maybe that's not going to work, actually. Ugh, that's annoying. Maybe I'll just leave it like that for now, just because I don't really want to spend all that time trying to figure out how to get this thing to work. I feel like there's better things I can do, more interesting things that I could do for now. So right now that's kind of working. I can stop displaying yo because I know that it now works. So let me just hit save. Maybe what I could do is oh no. I was thinking of maybe like having it so that if there is no program, which is what's happening at the beginning. If program, but no. I don't even need this, right? That's not being used anywhere else. So I could just delete this this property. Current program. Yeah, I'll figure that out later. It's not a big deal right now. So we have our schools. That's still going to be like this, right? Yeah, we're going to have to list all the schools or figure out a way to display like the schools that that the person can choose from that they work at. So we'll have our schools like this. That's fine for now. We'll have our programs like this as well. So we'll have a list of all the programs, and depending on the program that is selected. So when that happens, when someone selects a program, we fire off this event. Let me delete this console.log because I don't need it anymore. And this event will fire off this method, the update training dates, titles, times. And then this one runs, and that will set the trainings for the... Actually, I got to change the name here. So training, title, and time. So when I select something, it should be the training date, title, and time. So where should I put that? Training, title, time. So training, date, title, and time. You know what? I'm starting to not like that I did these forms like all huge. So let me actually delete that from every single one here. So let me select it a bunch of times. And we'll delete it. Hit save. And now this should all get smaller. There we go. That looks a little bit better. We still have our submit form button. That's still huge here. So let's remove that button large. So this is going to be a normal or kind of a normal sized button. We also have our signature mechanism, which is an H2. I'll leave it as an H2 for now, just because. But now it looks a little bit better, just a little bit. And actually, this is way too much space. I mean, I could make this smaller. So maybe we'll go... oh, that's going to be annoying, because I think I have to change it for all of them. For all the classes. Ugh. All right, we'll leave it like this for now, because I don't really want to spend the time and change all these classes. Just like I did. Although it wouldn't take too long. Just that I might change my mind, and that'll be like kind of annoying. Or maybe what I could do is I could just... I mean, in reality, it's not going to be this wide. It's not going to be like that. So this is going to be... The right side is going to be much smaller, because these drop-down menus aren't going to have that much information. So like about half the size, basically. All right, but that's kind of cool. So we have that working. So we have so people can't screw that up. So I mean, one of the big issues, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because, hello Chan, how's it going? So one of the reasons I'm doing this is because people keep messing up because they could choose anything. But now I'm filtering and only showing them what is appropriate for them. So that minimizes mistakes. And when they hit submit, that's when I'm able to capture the entire form. Hello, how's it going? Oh, what a night. Do you do any JavaScript, any Angular, or anything like that? Or what do you know? What have you been learning or doing? Oh, what else could I do here? All right, maybe I want to be able to submit the form and capture everything. So I think I'll work on that now. Might as well. All right, so we got that working. We got the school. We have the thing that changes. And now submit the form and send that over to the... eventually send it to the server. Oh, I actually don't like how that looks. So it collapses on, maybe when it's small. Really, is that what it looks like? Yeah, that's not cool. That does not look good at all. Oh, you just started. Well, welcome. Uh, Maybe you'll get something out of this. So basically, I'm live streaming myself for 60 hours because I have a bet with one of my friends that I can get to 60 hours by the end of this month. But these live streams, they're kind of tough to watch. I think they're hard to. It's hard to teach something efficiently when you have to spend so many hours on a project. Gotcha. All right, so you subscribed a long time ago. Long time subscriber. So yeah, so normally, I mean, when I'm in like the swing of things, I'm creating like short little videos, tutorials, but this month I've just been live streaming and it's been fun, but it's not very easy for people to watch this. It's kind of boring. Yeah, it's kind of boring to try to watch this and learn something because it just takes me so long to figure stuff out and I make a lot of mistakes and stuff. Whereas in like a 3 to 10 minute video, I could like I could really teach something efficiently. This is not an efficient way to teach. Although it is, I mean, there is something to be learned when you see me make mistakes and see how I figure out mistakes and hear what I'm thinking. But you know, someone would have had to watch like hours and hours and hours for me to get to this point for them to learn something. So that's not very efficient. But I guess it's kind of fun if you want to hang out, ask questions, you know, that's what I'm here for. I'm basically just hanging out, coding, and forcing myself to live stream for this bet. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Or joining me, I should say. It's not actually there might be another person in here, I think, but thank you for joining. And thank you for subscribing a long time ago. Hopefully anything you watched, any videos you watched, hopefully they helped out a little bit. Okay. All right, so I have that working. Now when someone hits submit, I want to be able to capture that they submitted everything. Okay, so how do I do that? On submit F ng form. So I think that will submit, or that will send everything that has an ng model. Is that how it's going to work? So F dot full name. Will that work? Let's see. Form dot value dot. Well, I guess that's it. Form dot value. Let's see what comes out when I do that. So the full name, email, and let me open up the console window. Let me go over to my console, and so when I hit submit, it says, okay, it has all the items in there. Okay, so, would I be able to do the value dot full name? So whatever I type in for the name, when I hit submit, yeah, I could do that. So I can capture it like that. That's okay. All right, so let's just do form.value for now. Actually, we'll call it the submitted form or submission equals the form. No, I don't need to do that actually. Actually, no, yeah. Let's do form.value and just call that submission. Let's make that a let. So now I could submission, and actually I could create like a type and call it the submission type, and then have everything in there, I think. But I'm not going to do that. I am going to add the other things to this form. So I'm going to have to add ng model to each item here. So I have my full name, email. Let's add one for the file number. That's going to be in the input. ng model with the name of file number. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Chan. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I hope so too. I think after this month, after I do all this streaming, I'll go back to making normal videos and trying to gain some subscribers. Thanks for stopping by. So ng model on that. So ng model on the school dropdown. How would I do that actually? Do I put it on the select or do I put it on the option? Let me Google that. Angular ng model select or option. So it looks like they're putting the ng model on the select. Okay, so we'll do that too. So we'll do that on the select. So ng model is going to go here. ng model, and we're going to give it a name. Set it equal to the, and this is the school, the selected school. Selected school. I'll just do everything lowercase for now and then change it later on. Actually, let's see if it's working. Let's see if this this is working or not. So I could select PS2. Let's have a name, something at whatever.com, file number. Then when I hit submit, it is capturing the selected school. So that's perfect. Okay, I'm gonna actually camel case that just to make it a little bit easier to mess with or work with later on. So selected school, same thing with file number. The name is going to be file number, camel case. I don't think with IDs you camel case. I don't think that's the way to do it. Full name, okay, that's camel case. Email, full name, email, file number, selected school. Okay, so let us add more ng models there. So we have our school, and now we want to capture the program name. So that is going to be, actually, do we ng model this one? Why not? Let's do ng model, and the name is going to be selected program. I mean, maybe if I two-way bind this, then I could set the selected program property equal to choose a program, and maybe that would work. We'll see. We'll see how we do that. Okay, so we have selected program, and the same thing for the training dates and time. So in the select, we are going to add an ng model to this, and then we're gonna give it a name of selected training date, title, time. I'll just name it selected training. There we go. Okay, so now when I type the, yeah, and we could see that the program name was, has now been unchecked, or there's nothing there to start. But once we select something, actually, I don't know if I kind of like that. I might like that actually. Because, they can't choose any training date, title, or time as of right now. They have to choose a program name first. And because I binded this to selected program, it doesn't know what selected program is. So I have to, what I could do is if they select selected program when they hit submit, I can make it so that they can't submit and then it turns red or something. But I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay, so when they choose something, that is going to set the selected program to that option, that choice. And let's see. Let's save it and let's type something out. So tim@small.com, file number 123. The school is PS4. Program name is units. And then they could choose the exact training dates. I really should have that blank to start. The problem is when they select the program, it automatically starts offering the different trainings. So the way that I think the good UX, a good user experience would be to have them choose a program, and then it'll say over here, like choose choose a training date, choose the correct training, something like that. Then once they select it, when I hit submit, here's the big moment of truth. I should be able to see an object with everything in there. And there we go. There's our object. So we have the full name, we have email, file number, selected school, and selected program. Actually, and this is a little bit bigger than what's shown. Here we go. So now we see this object with all of the items that we're gonna fire off to the server, because now we've captured the information that we need, that we want. I think, right? Oh yeah, we don't have the signature yet, but we could fix that. We could figure that out later. Or, actually, yeah, no, it would be cool to get the signature working, but for now I'm gonna leave it. I'll just leave the big heading 2 in there, and just leave it saying signature mechanism. All right, so we're at 25 hours and 30 minutes. All right, we're doing good. What did we start at? We started at 23:53, something like that. All right, so we're an hour and a half in. We're gonna keep going. We're still trucking here. Okay, so something I didn't do is I didn't clear out the entire thing when they submit. So I got to figure out how to do that. So let's do Angular template driven clear form. To reset the template driven form, ngForm provides reset form method that is called as follows. Let's find a Stack Overflow answer here. Okay, so we can do the form.reset form. Okay, so what's the form name again? f.resetForm, I guess. Let's see if that works. So on submit, we log the submission, and then we do f.resetForm. Hit save. I'm going to lose everything in here. Let's try this again. So, Joe at big.com, file number 123. Let's select PS2, APCSA, and we'll choose that session. And when I hit submit, it should clear out this entire form. Let's see. There it is. All right, so we've submitted the form, and that's it. And down here, we could see the object that we're able to capture with Angular. Okay, so I guess what's next is to throw this all, or get this all on the server, maybe saved in the database. Hold on. Okay, so let me think. What do I want to do first? Or what do I want to do next, I should say. So I guess we'll make a server that's going to run the backend. So it's going to be a backend server. It's going to run MongoDB. And we'll throw this into a database. So we'll have to we'll use Mongoose and create a schema that will be expecting specific things here. Yeah, and so right now I'm not doing any validation. So someone could just type in banana for email address and it would be accepted. So I really should be doing that probably next. Yeah, and all of these events, they shouldn't be on the front end like this. This should all be in like a service, a server somewhere. But for now, we're just trying to get this working. So, that's our goal. Just get it working for now, and then we could become better or optimize it later on. Do I need the unit training dates anymore? I don't think I'm using them. Nope. So you know what that means? It's gone. Yeah, because I have everything nicely captured in here. Right? Yeah, and I kind of like keeping it separate like that. Because in a database, I would actually keep it separate. I would have it, I guess, in different collections, I think is the way that I would say it if I'm using MongoDB. Because there's no need to have everything all together. I could just, ask or request the one I want. Oh, no. I think YouTube's back. I think we lagged out for just a split second, but I think we're back now. I hope. Let me check on my phone and see if we're still running here. I think. All right, yeah, Livestream 10 is still going on. So we're at 25. Over here it says 25 hours, 34 minutes, and a bunch of seconds, 27 seconds. Okay, so we're about 8 seconds, 7 seconds behind real time. Awesome. All right, so that's working. I'm kind of happy with that. All right, we're good. We're absolutely good. So I mean, if this was going to go into production, or if I was going to actually do this, then what I would do is I would create another form that would allow someone with like admin access to create these events and save them, add them to this array, so to this database. So they could add a date, a title, a time, and that would add it. So that's, I mean, that'll be in the future. That'll be coming up. Let's see. Do I want to do that next? Or do I want to work on validation? No, I don't want to work on validation. That's no fun. I'd rather just type the things in correctly and kind of like start connecting the front end and a back end to get more practice with creating a back end. Because I really do enjoy practicing. I'm the king of practicing things that others might find simple. It's a lot of fun to get this thing working again. Let me just format this a little differently. I like to have my methods all connected. Like I don't need a space in between each, unless I'm putting. I mean, I guess I would put a comment in between each, but normally I just have everything connected in groups. So here are these properties. I'll put them all connected like that. All right, so we have schools, programs. Actually, I should do program names here. Program names. And then in my app component, I should fix that. So let program of program names. There we go. So it's back to working the way that it should. Yeah, we'll worry about validation a lot later. So, obviously, so someone can't submit like an empty form like this, which right now is allowed. So I could prevent that on the front end, and I could also prevent it server side, so on the back end. So in case someone somehow manages to sneak that in, I'll be able to detect that it should not go through. Hello, Mr. Techno Horizon. Welcome. Welcome to the late night coding session here. We're making very slow progress, but we're making some progress, I guess. So that's nothing to sneeze at here. We'll take it. All right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this submission form working. Actually, what other notes do I have here? Behind the scenes, I will complete the period ending. Oh yeah, so this is based on the PDF that I'm trying to make eventually. So I'll leave that. I'll leave this this comment in there for now because it doesn't really affect anything. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them. I'm pretty much just working on some personal projects for fun because I made a bet with one of my friends that I have to stream 60 hours this month. And you can see on the bottom right, I'm at 25 hours. So we have a ways to go. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'm going to get to 30 hours tonight. That would be 4.5 more hours. And I'm a little bit tired. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. So do I want to go till 3:30? 3:45-ish Eastern time? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how long we go. We're going to keep pushing. So now that I have my front end kind of working without validation, I want to send it to the back end. I want to send it to a server and a database. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing we did a bunch of hours ago in another project that I'm going to come back to one day. Or probably in like 10 hours. Can you make a video on Go.Game Engine? What is the Go.Game Engine? Let me Google that. Go.Game Engine. Free and open source 2D and 3D game engine. The game engine you waited for. Godot provides a huge set of common tools so you can just focus on making your game without reinventing the wheel. It's completely free and open source under the very permissive MIT license. No strings attached. Wait a second. I think I've seen people streaming this on Twitch. I think it's this. Maybe they were streaming like Unity or like Unreal or something. Join the community and help create a game engine that belongs to everyone. Wait, you create the game engine? It's not just the... Oh, wow, that's interesting. You create your very own game engine. Features. Let me look at the features. Create games with ease using Godot's unique approach to game development. Nodes for all your needs. I really could have sworn that I've seen people doing this on Twitch, coding on Twitch with Godot, if I'm not mistaken. I really know nothing about game development, other than like simple stuff in Scratch. Animate literally everything. So it's a Python-like scripting language. C# support, C++ support. Additional languages. Yeah, I'll have to look into this. This looks interesting. I don't see why not. Maybe in a few hours I'll do, like, not a few hours today, but like in a few hours of streaming, because I have to get to 60 hours. So I might want to take a break from these projects I've been working on. Maybe I'll try something new like this, or something like Unity. I know some people have told me to do Unity. So that is this Unity real-time development platform. Also, the Unreal Engine is the other. Unreal Engine is the other one that people seem to like and recommend. But I've never created a game. I don't know if you've ever seen this YouTuber. His name is Jabrils. He's got some. Maybe he used Godot. Jabrils on YouTube. He uses. I don't know what software he uses, but he's made some games and stuff like that. Possibly with Godot. I'm not 100% sure what he uses. This other YouTuber, Trend Black, he's done some funny ones, making a game, but I don't know what software he's using for it either. All right, so maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out, Mr. Techno Horizon. Unreal's cool. I when I was a teenager, I wanted to learn Unreal. Because I used to play this game called Unreal Tournament, and I absolutely loved it. I really like first-person kind of shooters. And I used to love it on the computer before consoles kind of took over. So yeah, so this, I mean, if you look at, this is Unity, and it looks like it has that same idea here. I want to know how. What do you want to know? What do you want to learn? Yeah, look at this. I mean, here we see, like, it looks like code over here. There's like different branches and almost like a control flow over here. Visual scripting. I wonder, like, if I would be allowed to live stream myself watching like a tutorial of someone using something like Godot, and then like watching a video while doing it. I wonder if that's allowed, or if that would get like a copyright strike. Create 2D games with ease. Yeah, so I think I've seen some people using this on Twitch, but I could be wrong. It could have been Unreal or Unity. I want to know how to make my own assets. Do you have an idea for a game that you're trying to create? Do you know what you're trying to make? There was something else that I used to use when I was a kid. It was called RPG Maker, that allowed you to make your own RPG. So I haven't seen this in years, but is it still going? Yeah, so this was a really cool game maker back in the day. And me and one of my friends, me and my neighbor across the street, we would try to figure out how to make games using RPG Maker. And it looks like it's still going. So people are still using it, I'm guessing. Yeah, I haven't seen this in like 15, 20 years probably. Arduino programming. Yeah, some of my former students have done stuff with Arduinos. I haven't played with Arduinos. I actually have a Raspberry Pi 3 that I actually haven't even like installed or set up yet. But I did see an Arduino at a hackathon that one of my students was working on. Arduino programming 2D platformer. Gotcha. So you want to make a platformer like that. You could also try doing it in Scratch. It is somewhat easy to make a scratch.mit.edu to make up a platformer in Scratch. And you could also see how other people have done it. You could go to, no, not create. You could go to explore and type in like a platformer or Super Mario or something. So you can see how other people have done it. So like, let's say this one. Press the arrow keys to move and C to crouch. All right, let me mute the game a little bit. So you can move. So something like this might be like what you could see how they made this, and this is pretty easy to implement in Scratch. It's not so difficult. All right, so this is a pretty cool platformer, and you can look inside. You can look at the code and see how they did it. So I mean, it probably looks really scary here, but once you get the idea, you get the swing of get into the swing of things, see how they simulate gravity. And how they like move the character up on along the y-axis when the up arrow key is pressed or the space key is pressed. You can kind of figure that out. Wow, this is quite an intense nested conditionals in here. If touching color, then change y by 0.5 over and over and over again. Oh, because this 0.5 is really small. It's a really small. So I think they're keeping track of the X and Y positions. How can I download Scratch? So you don't actually have to download Scratch. So you can go to scratch.mit.edu. Let me just leave this page so you could see. So this is what it looks like. It's an online visual block-based programming language created by MIT. So in Scratch, you could hit create, and you could start adding code here in the middle. You can start adding code here in the middle to control this character on the top right. So you might want to, if you've never used Scratch before, you might want to look into using this this programming language, at least at first, to get your project working. So for example, it's really easy to create like two-dimensional platformer kind of things in Scratch. So for example, if you wanted to, detect when the space key's pressed and like have the character jump up and down, you could figure that out. There's a lot of different videos and a lot of tutorials that show you how to do that. I would recommend clicking on tutorials up here, and there are some that will allow you to figure out how to control a character or move a character around. So here, using arrow keys, this is a good tutorial for getting a character to move around the screen using the arrow keys. So I highly recommend Scratch. I have a bunch of videos on this channel showing you how to use Scratch or explaining how to use Scratch in certain scenarios, or how to use different blocks in Scratch. So feel free to check those out. Maybe they'll help you. And if you have any questions, if you're like trying it out right now for the first time, you feel free to post the question and I'll help you out. I really like Scratch as a first programming language for someone. Even though I'm not using Scratch right now, I'm using some JavaScript, TypeScript, Angular. So I'm doing a little bit of web development for these for this 60 hours. For most of the 60 hours, I think I'm gonna be doing some web development and not any game development and not Scratch. Yeah, so I would say Scratch is really easy to get into if you're brand new to this stuff. Something like Godot might be really powerful, but it's there's probably a huge learning curve. There's a lot you need to learn before you could start making something that's that you like, or that will look cool, or that other people can play. Whereas in Scratch, within a few hours, you could start creating something that, could be really cool. So highly recommend Scratch. And RPG Maker, which I mentioned before. I mean, it was a very intense program when I was in high school. I think I was in middle school actually when I first saw RPG Maker, but I haven't seen it in like 20 years. But it was really fun. I was trying to create like a Pokemon clone, But I don't remember what happened. I don't know what came of that game that I created or that I was working on. All right, so how do I close this? Let me close that. And I will check out RPG Maker at some point. Not RPG Maker. Godot. Godot. Can you tell me how to go to Scratch again? Sure. So to get to Scratch, you're going to type in scratch.mit.edu. Or you can Google Scratch programming. So if you go to google.com and you type in Scratch programming and hit enter, or Scratch MIT, the first link will be Scratch. So it's a visual block-based programming language. And if you click on that link, you'll see it. Actually, what am I doing over here? I could paste the link in the chat. So there you go. If you want to copy paste, or if you want to just click on that link, you now have it in the chat. Okay. So we have that going for us. What is going on with our form? Uh-oh. What is happening? Let me close out of this. Is this still working? All right, let me, I guess, close out of that. Let me minimize this one and just stick to this. So let's just see it, make sure that it works. PS1, 2, whatever, and then choose whatever. Okay. Yes. Okay. So we're back to, it's back in action. We're back in action over here working. All right. So let's start working on the server. So once again, we're going to have to install, so the server and Mongo. So we're going to have to install MongoDB. Let me think, what else we're going to need? Mongoose. We're going to use that library. I'm going to need, what else? I'm going to have to install Mongo. I'm going to have to install Mongoose. I'm going to need Robo3T. You're welcome, Mr. Techno Horizon. Thank you for stopping by. And if you have any questions, I'm going to be streaming for the next few days, pretty much every single day. So if you have any questions with Scratch, feel free to pop in and ask your questions. And if you create a project, if you hit the share button at the top, you could post your project in the chat and I'll check it out and help you live on the stream. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for asking. And hopefully Scratch will work for you. It's cool. It'll be cool for you to learn. Actually, I don't need these AirPods anymore. I don't think I'm going to do the tutorial anymore. Now I'm just going to do my own stuff with the server. Okay. So we could hold off on the form app for just a little bit. Let us start a new file. Can I make games on Scratch with a tablet or phone? Actually, you could. You can work on Scratch. It's going to be really hard on a phone just because the phone is so small. But if you have an iPad, you can use Scratch on an iPad. It works in the browser, so you can go to Safari if you have an iPad, or Chrome if you have an Android tablet, and you will be able to use Scratch in there. All right, so let us create a server. I guess we'll do it right in this app, in this folder. New file. We'll call it server.js. Okay. Oh, I have to install Nodemon or Nodemon. I just thought of that. So I'm going to need my terminal. Okay, let us, in the form app, so we are in form app. Let's do sudo install Nodemon globally, G. Because that is not installed right now. Oh, you know what it is? Sudo npm install Nodemon -g globally. No problem. You're welcome. I hope you enjoy Scratch. It's a really great programming language to start learning how to code with. Let's run this again. Oh, there's an npm. There's a new version of npm here. So we're going to update npm with npm install. You're welcome. Oops, we need to do sudo. There we go. So now we have nodemon installed version. There we go. And we also have the latest version of npm installed, 6.14.8. Okay, great. So now in formap, we are going to, we have our server. So we're going to install Express. All right, so npm install Express. Right, we're going to need Express to create the, actually, we don't need Express yet. Not if I want to get Mongo working. Oh, okay, here we go. Let's, actually I will need a server, the Express. All right, whatever. Let's just start installing stuff. npm install Express and Mongoose, I guess. But I need Mongo installed first. All right, we have to figure that out in a little bit. Let's install Express for now, just so I know that I could see the server here. So expressjs.com and npm install Express in this project, the formap. Okay, that's done. Let me get started. Use the API reference. How do we get a server up and running? Okay, here we go. So we're going to do, let me shrink this a little bit so I could see the browser on the left and the code on the right. So that'll make it easier for me to code what I want. So we're going to do const express, and we're going to bring in that library. We're going to bring in the Express library. Using that, then we're going to, I guess, fire off an instance of it. Do something like that. And we'll have our first route there. So app.get. So the get method on that, we're going to do function request response. I'm surprised they're not using arrow functions, but I guess they're going to do the old school way. So response.send hello world. So that, just to get our server up and running, we are going to then at the end we actually have to here we go. We're going to do app.listen. So app.listen. So the port is going to be 3000. We'll do, oh, there's the arrow function. So we can use an arrow function. So let me remove that function. So arrow functions are a different way of creating functions in JavaScript since like 2015. It does change. There are reasons to use that. Not just because it's easier or it looks, it's less code, but there is a reason for doing it. And I don't remember off the top of my head why, but we're going to use arrow functions. So you have the port, and we're going to run a function here. So we're going to do console.log. The server is up and running. The server is up and running. So that is going to be what our project will say when we run the server. So let me fire off nodemon to rerun the server every single time we update or save the file. So there we go. It says the server is up and running, and now we can test it out by going to localhost 3000 and seeing hello world. So we have our server up and running thanks to Express. So that is the beauty of using the Express library. that you can get a server up and running really quickly. All right, so now I know that I have to install MongoDB. So I'm going to go to MongoDB and figure out how to do that. So let us, I want to run it locally on my computer. Hey, Chan, you're back. We've still been going. We're going strong. We're at 25 hours, 26 hours. We just hit 26 hours. Mohammed, how's it going? So, all right, for those of you that just joined, right now I have I created this form. It's kind of like for work, but I'm doing it for fun to learn. Like my job isn't asking me to create this this thing, but I'm just creating this for fun to like learn how to do things. And what I did was I created a form that someone could fill out. So, you know, they type in their full name, their email address, their file number. This is for teachers because I work with teachers, closely with teachers. I have to train them. So one of the things that I've realized is that when we have them submit their forms for having been trained, a lot of them make mistakes because there are a lot of ways to make mistakes on the form that we provide them. So what I decided to do was to make my own form that minimizes the possibility of teachers making mistakes on the form. So they put in their name, they select the school that they work at, they select the program that they're in, and then they could only choose the trainings that are available for that program. So if they're in APCSA, then they have access to these 3 trainings. If they're in units, they only have access to these 2. So I've been, that's what I've been working on for the past, let's see. Yesterday I did almost 3 hours, and today we are about 2 hours in. So for the last 5 hours, I've been working on this simple little project, getting stuck a million times, but trying to figure things out. And so the nice thing is when the person finishes this form, they click submit, and then that will be sent to my server. So Mr. Techno Horizon, I've never made a Scratch tutorial for a tablet, but that is an interesting idea because a long time ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, it was 2 years ago, I tried using Scratch on my iPad Pro, but I haven't done it in like 2 years, so I don't know how it works now or how good it is or not. What kind of tablet do you have, Mr. Techno Horizon? Do you have an iPad, iPad Pro, an Android, a Samsung Galaxy Tab? Do you know? An Amazon Fire tablet, maybe? So Mohammed, anyways, so the teachers will be submitting this form, or they're going to hit the submit form button, and it's automatically going to send it to a database. So that's it. They can't mess it up. They can't make any mistakes. They can't pick the right program and then put the wrong date or the wrong time. All that stuff will be handled using this form. Samsung Tab A. Got you. Let me see what that looks like. Tab A. So I have not used a Samsung Galaxy Tab A. But I would think if it has Chrome installed, you should be able to use it in Chrome. You should be able to do Scratch in Chrome because Scratch was written in HTML5. So you should be able to use Chrome and then go to the Scratch website. And you should be able to drag the blocks around and still work with it, I think. But I'm not 100% sure because I can't test it out. So yeah, it looks like, if they're from 2019, 2020, you should be able to do that. You should be able to try that out. Yep, so try opening up Chrome and going to the Scratch website and seeing if it works. Maybe I could Google it and see if anyone posted that question. Samsung what is it, Tab A? No, just Tab A, yeah. Tab A Scratch programming. Let me see if anyone's said anything about it. Scratch on an Android tablet. You know what also might be possible? If you have access to the Google Play Store, so Mr. Techno Horizon, if you can go to the Google Play Store, you might be able to download. No, this is from way too long ago. I think if you go to the Google Play Store, Scratch is available on there, so you can install it. So if you look on my screen right now, you should be able to open up Google Play and install Scratch directly onto your computer, onto your tablet. Sorry. Yes, this is the official Scratch app for Chrome and Android tablets. So yeah, so I think this would be better than even going to the website. So you should be able to install it directly on your tablet. So definitely check this out. See if you can open up the Google Play app and download Scratch. Yeah, I think that's the route I would go. Okay, so I kind of have this front end working. Kind of got it to work the way I want so far. It's not perfect because it's not checking to make sure it's a valid email and all that stuff, but it's working well enough where I can capture this, capture everything that was selected or written down by the teacher. And so now what I want to do is I want to take that object and shoot it over to the server and save it into my database. So I'm going to work on creating a simple little database here. But since I'm on a new computer, I have to install everything again from scratch because I'm using a new computer and not everything is on here. So let me go back to MongoDB, and I got to figure out how to download it directly on my computer. Maybe software, community cert, no. Developer tools, cloud, no, definitely not cloud. Maybe developer tools. Thank you. Now I can drag and drop the blocks. Perfect. All right. So glad to hear that you got it up and running. You got it in Chrome, or did you download it from the Google Play Store? Which way did you get it working? MongoDB shell on the website. Okay. Yeah, whatever works. If you're finding that on Chrome it's a little bit laggy or slow, then maybe try downloading it from the Google Play Store if you can. Gotcha. Is this it? No, not the MongoDB shell. I want to download the entire MongoDB thing. Installation. Let's see. Maybe it's the Community Edition? Yeah, Community Edition on Mac OS. No, this is... Yeah, actually, maybe this is it. Let's see. All right, good. My connection's still going. I got nervous there for a second. I thought we dropped. Yesterday we lost our connection. Actually, wow, there's a bunch of dropped frames. So I'm guessing at some points during this this live stream, it's been laggy or something. Yesterday during my stream, I lost the connection so I lost it once, twice, 3 times. I lost my connection. My internet just kept going down for some reason, which messed up my live stream. Okay, so is this how we install it? Install on Mac OS using the tarball. I don't really want to install brew. Is there any way to just download it? Or is that the only way you can download it? Okay, let me type in download MongoDB Mac. What have they done? Oh my goodness. How did I install it on my other computer? I don't even remember. Let's see. I have to do it with Homebrew. No, yeah, this is what I want. I want to download it manually and put it in the path folder. MongoDB Atlas. I don't think this is right. This is not what I want. I seriously have no idea how I installed it before. I guess we have to install Homebrew then. Okay, so we have no choice here. Wait, MongoDB requires no installation overhead and offers a free tier to get started. Yeah, but I don't really want to work with API keys and stuff like that. Especially not when I'm live. So let us, I just want to do it all locally, basically. Can I install it with npm? npm JS. So let us search for MongoDB. Well, that's the driver. I don't want the driver. I want just Mongo by itself. A thin wrapper for the library. If I install Mongoose, will that bring in Mongo automatically? No, I really need to have Mongo installed locally already. Okay, that's fine. So let's see, how do we do this? All right, installed Xcode. Install Brew using the official instructions. So let's figure out how to install Brew, Homebrew. Okay, paste that in the Mac OS terminal or Linux shell prompt. First, let me see if this is correct in the bin. So let us open up a bin/bash. Okay, so here we go. So I'm guessing it's going to install it in here somewhere, right? And we'll see it in here, I think. This script explains what it will do and then pauses before it does it. Read about other installation options. All right, we'll install it. We got no choice. Okay, Xcode. Wait, I do have that installed. Okay, well, whatever. It's going to install it to user. It's going to create those directories. Following new directories will be created. Press return to continue or any other key to abort. No, I guess we don't have a choice. We have to hit return. There we go. Oh, no. Am I going to have to do sudo? We'll see if we get an error. Oh, no. Oh no, I think my thing is lagging. I think we just dropped some frames. I think I just like lagged out for a second. Maybe when I started downloading really quickly, it like slowed everything down a bunch. I hope not. I hope we're still going. I guess we'll find out within the next few seconds. It looks like we're back. Sorry about that. Sorry for the lag. All right. Wow, this is taking much longer than I expected. Downloading. So yeah, when I started downloading these command line tools, it just instantly slowed down the, which is surprising because this is uploading. It shouldn't have affected the download too much. Uh-oh, there goes downloading again. Let's see if that slows down my stream. All right, so far so good. This thing's downloading at 20 megabytes a second or so, but it looks like the stream is still up. Oh my goodness. Please don't fail me now. And it is almost midnight on the East Coast. For the anyone still watching, thank you for continuing to watch and support. So I hope I'm not boring you too much, but feel free to chat, feel free to ask questions or say anything if you'd like. I think we're okay. I think YouTube is still going. I hope. All right, come on, Homebrew. What are you doing in here? There we go. Homebrew is running, or it's installed. So if I do brew help, we have the different commands. Let's see if it installed it in that folder here. Maybe not. Maybe it installed it somewhere else. So I have no idea where it installed it. All right, that's okay. Let us. Homebrew installs packages to their own directory and then symlinks their files into user local. User local. Okay, whatever. Let's install Mongo. Is this the right thing though? Am I installing MongoDB community? Or is that the wrong version here? Let me try to Google it quickly before I install something wrong or something that I shouldn't be installing. So let's type in macOS install MongoDB locally. All right, so it looks like we're still good. Looks like we have an excellent connection. We're still going. I'll double check on my phone. Let's see. I won't open up my own stream here, but I'll see that it's working. Yeah, we're at 26 hours, 17 minutes, and a few seconds. So yeah, we're about a few seconds behind. All right, cool. So we're still going strong. How long have we been going for? 2.5 hours, approximately. Not bad. Let's try to go at least another half hour. We'll see how we feel in half an hour, or how far we get in this project. Okay, so brew install MongoDB. This is from February. This should be good. So I already installed Homebrew. Second, find the MongoDB tap. Third, install MongoDB. MongoDB community. What's the hold on, I'm gonna open up my laptop. So this is the laptop that I was streaming on before. I want to see what version of MongoDB I was running on that computer, because I just want to make sure I get the same exact thing. So let us type in Mongo version. .2.8. And so let's see what I'm about to install over here. 4.4. Okay, so I guess it's more up to date. I guess that's what I have to type in. Brew install MongoDB community 4.4. Let's do that. Brew install MongoDB community at 4.4. Error, no available formula. Cannot find the formula. Okay, so that wasn't correct. Let's try it without the 4.4 and just see what it finds. No available formula with a name. All right, let's just try MongoDB-community. No formula. Jeez. Oh, I have to tap the tap first? Wait, what is going on here? Brew tap. How does this work? Let's do that first. All right, something happened. Follow these steps. So I guess I did that first. Maybe that was right. Maybe that was wrong. We'll find out soon. Brew install the community at 4.4. Now maybe it'll work. There it goes. Nice. Oh no. I see that every time I go to install it lags. Every time I go to install it's lagging. Oh no. All right, so I'm seeing that every time I go to install, it's lagging. I don't even know if this is going through. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Come on, hurry up before YouTube kicks me off. Yeah, I see the connections. There's a lot of dropped frames. All right, so I think, come on. So every time I try to install something, it is lagging out. This is not cool. That is not great. I wonder why that is. Why is my connection not able to stream and upload, or download and upload at the same time? That must be my internet. It just must not have enough bandwidth to be able to do both at the same time. I think we're okay now, though. I think. Hopefully it didn't drop the whole entire connection. Let's see. Let me see on my phone if it looks like it.